So today's video is how to evolve as an occultist, shaman, witch, or magician as well on top of that. Okay, let's keep going. How to evolve as an occultist, shaman, witch, or magician. So the first thing is going to be meditation, right? Because meditation stills the mind, right? When we can be centered in our being and in our thought, in our breath, in our meditation, right? When we can also look at life as a meditation, right? I have a video called Life as a Ritual. Go check that out. Go check that out before this, honestly, or after. But in that video, I was just conveying that, in a sense, just like yoga, right? There's a whole video, but just like yoga isn't to do a yoga pose. Yoga is to be. Yoga is all and everything, right? So if we are doing yoga, then we are enacting in yogic poses. Yoga is to show us something. It is to show us life. It means to unify. So it's the same thing in meditation. Life is meditation. Life is a ritual, right? And when we can get better at meditating, which I'll have a video on that later on. Actually, I'll go very in depth in that video. But in a sense, meditation is just stilling and calming your mind. Hey, kitty. Can't forget Occult without the cat. OccultcatTv. Okay, so, but in a sense, you are just stilling your mind, right? You're dissolving your ego. You're allowing the thing that is always telling you things, or if you have an out of whack ego, which I have videos on that. The ego is the thing that is chaotic, is monkey mind, right? So it's always like, oh, I gotta pay you sit down to meditate, oh, I gotta pay my taxes. But the thing is, you have to let those thoughts leave your mind. And I remember when I actually had thoughts like that. It's like, did you leave the burner on? Like when I sat to meditate. So that showed that my ego was trying to take me away from something. What was it trying to take me away from? It was trying to take me away from my true self, that which is within. Because when we can silence and still our mind, we can see who we are in this life. We can see what we're creating, and on top of that, what we're meant to leave behind, right? Because when you can meditate, you can bypass the ego. You can dissolve the ego, allowing you then to actually expand into the limitless and pure potential source that you are. It lies within, behind the ego. So, meditating. Step 2, dropping the ego. Not allowing the ego to get in the way when it's in daily life, meditation, or ritual, right? Because if you're someone that connects with spirits, the difference between connecting to the spirit and not is your ego would start to talk to you, and it might even try to act as the spirit. And this is where it can kind of be hard when we are invoking or we're working with different energies, right? As a shaman, a witch, a magician, an occultist, we work with different energies to benefit and better our life, to help us in creating our reality using these different energies to then also push us forward, right? But sometimes, so I remember when I was first working with Lucifer for myself. First, Lucifer came through my own mind, right? Through my own ego, my own voice. And as he was coming through, he sounded like me originally, because I hadn't developed or shaped that mental narrative and then brought myself further, right? So, but then when I can eventually see Lucifer and hear him then eventually his voice comes into being as that being. But it's also at the same time that if my ego's out of whack, it can distort the things that I'm hearing from spirit, right? So that's actually how you know if you're hearing, like I knew I was hearing him and I was connected to him because I felt the energies, I felt the being, and the being is there and it's conveying to me vibrations through my own thoughts, right? So, and then eventually shaping the narrative. That's how I know I was connecting to it. The way in which, if I had a unbalanced ego, it would be more egoic things. It would be, I am Lucifer, or like these things that, like in a very ego way, like I'm able to do anything, this, that. It's just a feeling. You can kind of know the difference. And then sometimes some people, I wasn't really adherent to this. This never really happened to me, but people will create an egregore of the being merging their ego with the energy, and then that's just a potent way of creating a thought form. So some people might be connecting to a thought form that they built over time, because that's all it is the ego and what you created. Okay. But once you dissolve your ego, you get better at connecting to spirit. You get better at talking to the spirits, receiving downloads, communication. The ego mind is the only thing that is limiting you from hearing a full, direct, clear line, and as well mental perspective that they're trying to convey. The same thing is with clarity, clairvoyance, and seeing your future, or rather creating your future. Okay, so after meditation and dissolving the ego, next is spell work. Spell work will up your game and help you to evolve. Yes, we all light, candles. Spell work, spell time. We all light candles. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody utilizes the candle to the same purpose. Like if I walk into my Muggle friend's house, right? Like I mean, they're probably lighting candles. There's deity around. They don't even know it. Deities be influencing people to buy candles, right? But they might not imagine and visualize into the candle flame that which they desire, the things in which they desire and wish to bring into their life. And that's why it's not, they don't have an effective ritual. They're just a muggle. They don't know the next step on how to evolve. We all have an imagination. We can all visualize. We can all imagine. We can all create our reality, right? So it's about imagining and then looking into the candle flame, looking into that which we wish to create, right? Imagining it, visualizing it, seeing. See yourself driving a car, right? In the candle flame, see yourself driving a car, and then feel that feeling. What would it feel like? And then when you can do this over and over again repeatedly, you're then going to start to notice, cars around you. Maybe you want to buy a new car, right? This is a good way that you can imagine and visualize and create scenes, mental narratives, and outcomes for yourself. Because we live in an energetic matrix. We live in an illusion, a simulation, right? A Maya. And then as well to the Toltec shamans, a mitot. What does mitot mean? Well, it means 1,000 screaming voices, 10,000 screaming voices all at once. Like it's literally, like it's just 10,000 screaming voices at once, because that's what your mind is. It's just so much mental chatter until you dissolve that of the ego, and then you can peer behind the veil in order to see who you are and what you're meant to create. Your power in a sense lies behind the veil of illusion, the Maya, the mitot, the matrix. This is actually why a lot of people's energy is capped by the veil, by the illusion. Is not because it's some evil veil, but it's actually because it's to limit you within the game. If we didn't have the veil of illusion, then we would be fully actualized from birth. The moment we're born, we would remember all of our past lives. And as much as people want to think that that's always a good thing to remember a lot of your past lives or all of your past lives, imagine how much that would overload the mind so much. So there is a reason for the veil in a lot of ways, but that's also why we have to meditate. We have to visualize, we have to imagine, we have to commune with spirit so that we can regain our energy and transcend to the next level, or to what people call, or what is known as, raising your vibration, so that you can reach the next frequency, so that you can reach the next octave. And then it's actually through raising your vibration, you're actually then going more into your self, you're going more into your truths, and you are going within to discover and uncover who you are, and then bring this as within, so without, to then allow all of this to unfold, to then be created through your truths. You are creating your reality now from your truths. So the more that we can know thyself, the more that we can step into our truths, we can actually see what we're creating. We can actually see what we're meant to know, and then start to embody and take that on, downloading that into ourselves through our mind's holographic matrix, right? And this is why the imagination is so important, to visualize, to imagine, to see something, right? Whether it be, just staring at a candle in ritual, trying to conjure a demon, trying to conjure an angel, trying to conjure a being, a deity, a god, Thoth, Tahuti, right? And then we look at the candle, and then we can visualize and feel the energy of the deity more, right? So I just need to look into the candle and visualize Thoth, or visualize Lucifer, or visualize a being. And then the more that I can feel it, imagine, and see it into being, there's no difference between magic and manifestation, which I have a video on this as well, just throwing that out there. There's no difference between magic and manifestation. If you're trying to manifest something in the physical, you're going to be using the same universal laws and principles. Your imagination, frequency, vibration, dissolving your ego, removing the ego. You're going to use all of these things either in your magic to conjure a spirit, or to conjure a physical item into your reality and have that manifest, right? So a ritual to gain something physical is not really different than a ritual to gain something spiritual, to evolve. This is alchemy. We can either alchemize our physical life, or we can alchemize our mental life, taking on new archetypes, new imaginations and visualizations, which are also their frequencies, their energies, their things in which we can use in order to empower our reality, such as maybe a deity has given you an astral sword, or something of this nature. It's in going to that imagination, that conjuration within the ritual space, within your mind, within performing that spell, that you can now bring that into your life in some way. So this is also how we introduce deities into our life. This is another way how we can evolve, bringing a being into our life. I remember when I first brought Thoth into my life, right? Thoth has been an amazing deity the whole time. He's always like, hey, let's let's learn this or let's learn that, or universal laws, frequency, vibration, magic. He's always wanting to create and do something new. And when you're communing with that energy, which is also a frequency, a vibration, right? Then you start to also take on that energy and have it to motivate you and empower you. But it's not just you becoming the being, it's it then feeding your source to then empower you and reignite and spark that remembrance of who you are, that, oh yeah, I am Thoth, because we're all one at the end of the day. So I can use the energies of Thoth to also evolve myself, to become better at oration, writing, speaking, magic, right? Thoth is one of the most like powerful beings, in the sense he's so amazing and so brilliant and so creative, right? He can help us to learn pretty much anything, as well as helping us to navigate, guide, and understand the matrix. This is why the universal laws, the Kybalion hermetics is so, as well hermetics is so powerful, because these are the laws of the gods. It's what the gods use. It's what spirit uses, or these beings, these deities need to know things, and what they just know is the universal laws, but just amplified because they've been using them for so long. They've been evolving themselves from their source continuously. And this is why Thoth has many incarnations, such as or Thoth Tahuti, and then there's also Hermes, and then there's also for the Greek pantheon, and then there's also Quetzalcoatl, because he's been reborn so many times, because he's choosing to evolve over and over again, just like you. Most likely you had a past life, unless you're a new soul, but it's you transition from that life into this life to now evolve this life and now take it to the next level. Take this life to the next level and create your reality, right? This is why I'm talking about, meditation. Clear your mind, dissolve your mind, or clear your mind, and then get rid of your ego, dissolve your ego. This is a step-by-step how to evolve your life. Just get to the next level in whatever you want to do. Because not having an ego, right? Still having your own persona, who you are at the end of the day, but dissolving the limitations, the doubts of all of it, then you're going to be someone, maybe you were shy and anxious, now you're charismatic and you always want to talk to people, right? There's many different ways in which dissolving the ego is beneficial for you, whether it be, bettering your life, bettering your job, your work environment, getting a new job because you think more highly of yourself, having more effective rituals and manifestations, getting better at clairvoyance, divination, spell work, conjuration, divination, working with beings, as well tarot. You get really good with tarot when you dissolve your ego. Interactions with people are just fluid. It's flowing. It's just, there is no judgment. There's just unity. There's just one. There's just understanding, right? When you don't have an ego, you understand. You listen to understand rather than just listening to talk. So then after that is why spell work is so powerful, because we can now go into our ritual space, our meditations, and bring a candle and incense, right? And then from these candles and this incense, right? Which I also have videos on, how to get better at magic. Go look on my channel. So we use these things, the incense, to trick our ego into smelling a new environment, right? If we get a luxurious incense that smells so good, like lotus or lavender, or I don't know, vanilla or cinnamon, right? Cinnamon just smells so abundant. And then we light that incense, and then we start to feel as if we're in a different place. Just like when you close your eyes, there's nothingness. I'm in a different place because I closed my eyes. I'm in a new realm and a new dimension, right? So I can now imagine and visualize and conjure new things into being, right? So this is it's very powerful, but then it's also very personal, and it's about being seductive with your magic, right? Trying to coax the spell, to coax your lover, right? To coax the deity, like whether it be you're masculine and it's a feminine, like just having, you know, nice incense or nice perfume around, right? That's how to work with the deity, right? Giving offerings. You don't always have to give offerings, but offerings are always accepted, and they're always really good to establish a connection with the being and with the deities, right? So after getting good at spell work, right, getting into that trance state, getting into that meditation, then we can my cat's right here. Then we can go into ritual, which is pretty much the same thing. It's just spell work, but we are combining all of these things, and then we're going into, it could be a dark room that you do a ritual. You could be doing a ritual on the beach. It really doesn't matter where you're performing it. So as long as you're doing things in that moment to go deeper into trance state, into awareness, so that you can get more out of it, you can visualize more intense or more in depth, and you can see what you need to. This is why witches are known for going into nature, right? Or shamans as well, because connecting with the earth, it already stimulates. I already feel like I can imagine a lot better when I'm in nature. I'm more in tune with my intuition. I'm more clear. I can feel, I know things, right? I just know things more. Actually, I feel like my ego just dissolves in nature, right? So this is why witches could be known for, you know, well, one, go into the crossroads, doing rituals at the crossroads. We all know that Hecate, goddess of the crossroads, queen of the witches, she's the one that lays at the crossroads. You do rituals to her at the crossroads, and then, you know, bring a candle if you want, bring whatever. It could be in daytime, it could be at night, right? Night probably being more powerful, meeting with Hecate. And then it's at the crossroads that we're choosing where we want to go in our daily life. We're choosing where we want to go and where we want to evolve. In what direction are we heading? In what direction are we moving? Right? Where are we going as a being for ourselves? This is also something that you can, you know, determine with Goddess Hecate. You can also determine with, you know, if you work with Papa Legba, right? Other crossroads spirits. Anubis is also known for the crossroads. It being the difference between heaven, or the earth, and the hell, the afterlife, the hell realm. So, ritual is really just going more into yourself, and this is why we could also just do a ritual in our room, light candles and incense, turn the light off, fully just focus on the flame, and then we allow reality to tune out. Just like nature. Nature brings us into that feeling that trance state really fast, and then also from that we can, nature dissolves our ego, then the flame helps to focus your mind with immense clarity, so then you can tune out the rest of the world and go more into trance, into the ritual, in depth. You can immerse yourself. Immersion, preparatory immersing yourself into the ritual, right? And this is why I said be seductive. Like, it's a moment, like a healing ritual is a moment. If you're healing, like, say, your sexual energy or your sexual centers, it's a moment of healing where you're being one with yourself, right? Just like meditation, unity, right? Yoga is the same way, unifying, being one with yourself. Life is yoga. So it's the same with like a bath bomb or ritual baths, which are also really beneficial. I remember Bobby Hemmett was the first occultist that really, go look him up, By the way, shout out to Bobby Hemmett, brother Bobby Hemmett. So he really got me to understand why you do ritual baths, right? Right? Why you throw herbs in the ritual, because it cleanses your aura, it cleanses your energy, and this is why, I'm sure this is why bath bombs are so in the now, like in the know now, because it has all of that condensed into one. It has, you know, different salts like Himalayan salts. It has sometimes roses or different flowers, different fragrances and frequencies, right, that we can use to cleanse our energy. So those are many different types of rituals I gave you as well. So next tip is invocation. Bringing invocation into our life in order to better ourselves and take ourselves to the next level, right? So invocation is where you're not just calling a deity forward, like I was talking about earlier with a spell or a ritual, but you're now in the ritual space choosing to invoke, or wherever it might be in nature, you're invoking the being and the energy and now bringing it into yourself, such as invoking Lucifer, right? We can invoke Lucifer and then, you know, by chanting his ends, saying his name, and then we start to feel that energy. We can commune with that energy and then talk to that energy. And then it's from that we can push ourselves forward through gaining gnosis. Maybe I didn't know something, how to do something, but then I talked to a being that, you know, deals in that way, right? Maybe you're someone that needs abundance, right? Maybe I need abundance and I go to Belial or I go to Bune, right? I can invoke the energies of those spirits, and then naturally I'm taking on the frequency of abundance, of wealth. So then I can go journal, I can go meditate, or, you know, in those moments I can meditate or work on music, a project, right? That would then bring about economic success, would bring about wealth in some way, shape or form, in some nature, right? So it's really truly about feeling the entity, feeling the being, and then invoking, bringing in the energies, and then being more of that, taking on more of that essence. It's not just a melodramatic or theatrics. It's taking on the energy so that you can fully feel it. Like I have a video with me and Shiva where I go in depth in talking about this experience, or more in depth on my Patreon, but I also do have a video on Shiva where I talk about, I turned into a snake one time, and I didn't realize this, but the snake, I invoked the energies of the snake to the point that my ego fully dropped away, and I became the snake for those moments. It felt like, truly, like, was I a snake dreaming I was a human? Or am I a human dreaming I'm a snake? And because how much I threw myself into the scene, the picture and the narrative, I fully felt as if I was a snake. I entered into snake consciousness, which also, invoking that, then I came back to my daily life. It felt like a trip. It was a shamanic journey, though. I was chanting Shiva's ends, and then I came back, right? And then from that, I now can embody, I can shed the past a lot more, right? Because it also gave me something new to think. This was a while back, like years ago, but it also gave me a thing to think about, something new to think about, that pretty much shattered my old reality, my old matrix, my old ego. So I now took on and embodied more of a new essence, energy, substance, right? Because I started to download and know more gnosis than what I knew before, enlightening me, and then it shifted my energy, right? It raised my vibration from that journey. Very powerful journey and experience. So the next step, the next tip, the next phase is with invocation, then would be, I'd say, exercise. Because exercising allows you to step into the rhythm of understanding your energy, your kinesthetic force that your body has, and it starts to merge your meridians together because you're working out all different aspects of your body, right? It also animates you a lot more. A lot of people are just, armchair occultists. One, they're not doing the rituals. They read a lot of books, which the thing is, a book, all it can give you is like energy and information. It can't transfer things. But if you're not initiated or doing the rituals yourself, the invocations, the making, like, if you don't have to, but making pacts with the spirit, or doing path workings where you're invoking and, talking to the energy more than one day at a time, right? This is what an armchair occultist is. On top of that, they're usually occultists that don't exercise, they don't work out, they probably barely even meditate, right? So it's about now bringing your invocations into the gym and taking it to the next level. I definitely know that exercise was one of the most beneficial and one of the most important things for me along my journey, right? Because this is when I started to transmute the death essence. I was an old version of myself. I was skinny, I was weak, right? I invoked a lot of energy, and I was very communicative. I was very connected to my intuition, and I knew a lot, and I was very strong in my energy, in my frequency, in my field, right? But the thing is, I wasn't physically strong, and I knew this because, like, oh my god, I fell on my wrist a few times, especially like skating and stuff like that. I kind of just fucked it up. And this is also what brought me into the occult in general, was wanting to heal myself, right? Was wanting to be a healer and to be a shaman and to go more in depth. And I realized a part of my healing, I had to exercise, right? So if, say, you do harm yourself, like you hurt your wrist, you fall, I don't know, you go through something that has traumatized your body physically, you can't just not look at it or take a pill and it's done and it's gone. No, you have to physically move it. You have to continue with that kinesthetics and understanding the energy in the system. I know it's one time Hecate is like, hey, don't go out tonight. And then I was like, why? And then I went out, fell on my fucking wrist, and then I was like, someone could be like, did Hecate create that, or was she just letting me know what would happen? In some way, she was letting me know. And this happened to a friend also with her ankle, but it gave me a challenge because I could actually, it was pretty hard to recover, not hard to recover from, but it took a while. Gave me a challenge where that after the first month it didn't heal. I was kind of like, okay, I need to be more powerful with this healing. And then I gave it about 3 months, and it was okay, it felt better, but I was like, okay, I'll give it about 6 to 8 months, right? And I continued to work on it, to adjust it, to do everything that I needed, right? And then eventually it healed. I didn't need to go to a doctor, I didn't need to go to a hospital. It wasn't like the bone didn't like break or anything, but this showed me how powerful, exercise and giving something time and attention to heal. Because I was also imagining energy. I was going into ritual and imagining energy and bringing it into myself, because this is what I am. I am a healer. Specifically, I'm a psychic healer or a psychic surgeon. I also do Reiki, right? I'm known for the occult. I'm known for working with spirits, for being a manifestation coach as well, helping people to manifest. But at the end of the day, honestly, I am a psychic surgeon myself, and I love the mental arts, the healing arts, like the arts of mental healing, right? In all ways. I consider myself a psychologist. On top of that, a philosopher, but also a medicine man, a shaman, a true shaman. I'm a modern day shaman. I have the abilities of the shaman, but yet I still live, I gotta eat, fam. You know what I'm saying? I still go to the store, right? Because being an occultist doesn't make you different than other people. Actually, it should bring you more into this realm, into this world. Because also, when we think about it, the elite are all wealthy individuals, and we definitely know that they They do rituals. They work with these same beings, these same energies. They work with Lucifer too. They work with Moloch as well as Satan. These energies are energies, and people tap into those energies and take from it and do what they will. So it's not the darker gods are doing that in any way as well. It's more that there's someone using those energies, right? Because pretty much like we learned in the movie Doctor Strange, the old one, the elder, the ancient, we realized she was using darkness the whole time. But the thing is, it's about what she was using it for. To fight dark, you must use the dark. You must understand the dark. You must thrive in the dark, right? In order to fight your shadow, you must know your shadow. You must dissolve your shadow, and you must become your shadow, right? So this is why if we want to elevate or evolve to the next level, we have to embrace a wealthy and abundant lifestyle. We have to embrace our shadow, right? Because all of our power, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, exists within our shadow, exists within who we are at our core and at our depth, right? And this is why we must, the next step to evolving is through the shadow we evolve, right? I also have a video on Azazel also being released later today, because it's Saturday, right? The day of evolution, right? A foundation of structure. And in this video, I talk about how Azazel, how we can use Azazel or work with Azazel to go more in depth into our shadow and as well do shadow work. Azazel is an amazing deity, is an amazing god that we can connect to, an amazing ancient one, right? A watcher. He was one of the first to teach the witches, to teach the witch gods, or to teach to teach the witches as a witch god, right? And as Azazel, as a witch god, taught us evolution, right? Because he was the first witch, or he was the first deity watcher god to bring swords to man, to bring medicine, or I want to keep saying medicine, to bring makeup to women, right? These are both forms of tools, right? And then they're also forms of weapons, right? You know a beautiful woman that wears a lot of nice makeup, and you can really see how much she looks different. It's warfare, right? Because it makes you want to look at her if she has beautiful makeup on. It's the same with a sword. It's a weapon, right? It's just a masculine form of weapon, right? The feminine is receptive warfare, using themselves, using their appearance as a form of warfare to gain energy in the psychic arts, right? And then men have the physical form of an actual sword. So the next is shadow work, right? Going through the shadow, we can become a greater version of ourselves, because we could even say that all of our truths lie within the shadow. All that we are lies within the shadow, right? Our power, our strength, who we are is hidden within our shadow, and we must go within into the darkness and know who we are in order to better become ourself, in order to become our true self and who we're meant to become. This lies within the shadow. This lies within who we are, and as well who we are meant to become. So shadow work entails with using what I taught you earlier with meditation, and you can also incorporate it with spell work and ritual to reflect on it, say a candle flame. But most importantly, it's just going within yourself and dealing with your shit. If you're someone that is always getting stepped on, go into your shadow and find your strengths. Find who you are and who you're meant to be. Understand the journey. Understand the path. Understand who you are and the path that you're walking, right? Because all of your knowing who you are is within your shadow. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know thyself, who you are is within the shadow. So go within the shadow to understand and know who you are. Excavate and then bring out these vibrations and these frequencies of that which you are, of the archetypes in which you embody. All of this is going to be within your shadow. So if you want to get stronger, have more powerful outcomes, to manifest and to create your reality, deal with your own shit. Go within and embody your power, your strengths. Deal with what is weakening you or making you feel weak, right? Don't just dance around it and be, I'm afraid of this, I don't like this. Go within and just face it. Face the shadow. And if you need a guide, Azazel, also known as Azazel, very amazing guide for that. Okay, so the last tip and step when it comes to evolving, there's many more, but these are some foundational core and key tips and elements when it comes to evolving, would be manifestation. Learning how to manifest and to create your reality and to embrace the reality in which you wish to create. Right? This is using everything that I said prior. Everything in this video, guys, watch this video over and over again, and you have everything that you need to evolve and go into the next level, because these aren't just things that I'm saying. These are things that I've been doing years on years of research, on top of constant practice and as study, on top of actual physical applied magic, knowledge, right? I've been a ceremonial magician. I've been invoking for 5 years in order to know myself and know the psychic arts, to know magic, right? And this is why if you do desire a one-on-one consultation, these are the things that I would be teaching you more in depth and specializing for you. I would be as well, I'd be as a form of psychologist listening to what you might be going through, and someone who's been through immense pain, who's been through immense strife and struggle in life, but who I took all that pain, that sorrow, that suffering, and I transmuted it, and I created the reality in which I desired, right? I found the woman that is my wife, TamaRa. Shout out to TamaRa. Shout out to her channel as well, Mastering Spirit with TamaRa. Go give her a shout out. Go subscribe to her. Go like her videos. Let her know that I sent you. I say what's up. And I found the woman of my dreams. I created the life in which I desired. I've manifested what I wanted, and now it's just about moving forward and creating the reality. There's levels to the game. There's steps, right? A lot of my clients are actually older than me. And right, I have clients that are 36, 42, even, just in their 30s. And the thing is, what I can teach them is how to take this gnosis and then apply it into their life. And then when they start to do it, because they already have outlets for wealth, they already have everything that they pretty much need. They have the foundation. They now need it's two things. In two ways do I cater towards this. I'm able to give I'm able to give a foundational structure when it comes to understanding the mind, right? So if someone's spiraling, or they feel that they're not in the best mental state, I'm able to talk to them, commune with them, and as a shaman, pull them out of their bullshit, pull them out of it, right? So I've talked to people that thought they were schizophrenic, but then they realized they're very powerful psychics. They're very powerful witches and magicians, and the only thing is they were at one spectrum of the polarity, believing or perceiving they were crazy, they were psychic or psycho, schizophrenic or whatever. But then the thing is, when they could actually shift to the other polarity and merely understand and experience that they're actually talking to a real being, they were able to shift their whole life overnight just through that consultation. And then also, you know, doing the work, right? Eating healthier, meditating, studying, right? Manifesting, using their mind for positive things. Because if you're not using your mind, it's just going to bounce back on you. Right? If you're not using your mind, you're not creating your life. You have to use your mind to create your life. Yes, it is fluid. It is flowing. It is effortless in nature. But it's first about hooking that up, hooking yourself up to your inner nature, your true source, and embracing source, and then allowing that to create through you. And then through what you create, you evolve from, right? We evolve from what we create. So on top of that, also I teach people then what we're talking about right now, manifestation, how to create their reality. So if their mind's already, like, they're already pretty mentally healthy, they're already moving forward, they're good, they don't really need spiritual advice, right? Because I do conscious coaching, but on top of and I help with people's spirituality, and I help them to understand the mind, and, you know, emotional healing. I do emotional healing ceremonies and rituals for people as well. Rituals. I do that with Astaroth. I can do that with many different beings, even Lakshmi, right? Kali, but as well, I also do that for with Astaroth and those energies, and I have done that before and a few times. I also do that for myself, but then it's also about manifesting. This is something that I'm very potent in because of the energies that I work with, such as, you know, Azazel, Lucifer, Belial, Shiva, Ganesh, right? I'm someone that keeps it. I'm both. I am source. I embrace source. And that's actually what I bring into people's lives. Yes, for consultations, a lot of consultations, people bring, they tell me that Lucifer brought me to you. Lucifer really wanted us to talk or to commune. He thought that you might have something that you could help me with. And then they hire me for a consultation. They book a one-on-one consultation, and then you commune with me and Lucifer, right? And sometimes, again, like I was saying, it's for healing for people. But then other times it's actually also, it's an in-depth, or right, that's an in-depth, that can be an intimate moment where you need to heal or go through something yourself. Maybe you've been through, you know, abuse, and you need to get over, like, you need to heal from that, right? Those are things that I've had to help people with before. I'm not just a conscious coach, but I'm also a healer, and I help people to heal in those ways. And I really like helping people to heal. But I also like helping people to manifest and to create the reality they desire. When I meet with a client and then they tell me, oh, Shay, I manifested this. Like, they message me, like, after that, like, even a few days sometimes. And they let me know. I'm so grateful for that as well. Because it's so beautiful, well, one, seeing people heal, but it's so beautiful seeing people manifest and create the reality they desire. To create the things in which they need to bring into their life, right? Magnetize to themselves. And we do this in ritual by applying all these things and focusing and centering our mind and already feeling as if we have it, right? I have other videos on manifesting, and I have a whole bunch of live streams dedicated to manifesting also on my Patreon. So go check out my Patreon if you do want to get more into manifestation. But truly, it is just feeling, imagining, seeing it, defining it, being more clear with it, right? And then, okay, I said this was the last one, but this is going to be the last one after manifestation, is creating your life. Creating the outcome for your life. Because we truly, at some point, I realized we are the ones navigating, right? We are the ones choosing where we go in life. The ones that are guiding the vessel, the ones that are writing the narrative, writing the script. Why are you choosing to manifest things that you don't desire into your life? It's about going to the next level in your reality and now imagining it and creating it into being, right? So now you need to do the effort, right? This would be, we've set the intention with everything else. Now it's taking the action. Action is also one of the most important things when it comes to manifesting, evolving, and as well creating your reality on top of creating, right? It took me action to make this video. I almost didn't make this video, but then I felt how, right? I go to do it and then I just started doing it. And I feel how creative I was from it, how much I was able to just flow, right? How much I was able to create and have it just come out. Yeah, I did have a small script in the beginning, but most of this is, it's free form. I'm flowing, I'm channeling, I'm rapping, right? Poetry. Because this is what I love to do at the end of the day. This is what I love to create is, I love to create videos and I love to make content that helps people to evolve and become their greatest version. Just like a Lucifer would, just like an Azazel or a Satan would, just like Thoth would. I love to do these things because I love to help people to become their greatest versions. I'm grateful for these deities teaching me so much, showing me how to create, how to evolve, and I'm just so grateful for it. And I love teaching this and I love helping people to evolve and become their greatest versions. So create, take the action. After this video, if maybe you wrote some things down, you wrote some things down, do what you love to do. Create the life you desire. Become who you're meant to be, right? Because if you can now go and create, this whole video was worth it. Because that's what I want you guys to do. I want to inspire you to create, to evolve. So creating can be making art. It can be imagining and visualizing things. It can be bringing things into the physical, such as someone had to imagine this chair, to then someone had to create it, go get the wood, right? Go chop down the wood, turn it into something, and then their imagination became a reality with this chair. Go create the life that you desire. Go do the things that you were meant to do to become the person that you need to. Follow the path and embrace your greatest version. Always stay evolving, guys. With that, have a beautiful day. Also, music is also creation, vibrations, frequencies, singing. There's so much that we can create, so much that we can do, you guys. Okay, so with that, that's going to be the video. How to evolve as an occultist, witch, shaman, and magician, right? And as well, this is OccultcatTv. I'm your host, O'Shea. As well, you can call me a Tanu, or even just Cool Cat. So, with that being the video, if you guys would like to book a one-on-one consultation with me, I do have my services. Everything is down below. You can feel free to email me for business inquiry or to book a consultation at occultcatTv@gmail.com. So again, that is occultcatTv@gmail.com. And on top of that, I also have my Patreon where I am doing the monthly ritual, I believe just a few days from now. So go check out the Patreon and also know that the monthly ritual is coming. So, don't miss out on that. It is on, I believe it's the 30th or 31st of this month into the next month. And that will be a magical boost to get you going and, reaching the next level, to evolving and becoming your greatest version. Okay, with that, you guys, have a beautiful day. Peace. And as well, namaste.